What's up, threadheads? You looking for something new to do in the loo? You know what to do. Just ask me.
It's a beautiful day, don't you know? It's a beautiful day.
This is The Thread.
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, Tim? How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Tell me what's going on here.
Oh, we've got some axe throwers.
You said axe throwing?
Yes, sir. So top-notch axe throwing, it's a new up-and-coming trend. We have a lot of people come in really skeptical and they don't know if they're gonna like it or they think they're not gonna like it, but everybody ends up loving it. It's just a good way to laugh at each other and then, you know, see what you got yourself. It's a good way to hang out with family and just interact with each other without having to make up random conversation, and yeah, you just come in and hang out and have fun and throw some axes. We give people a quick safety debrief and then we teach them how to do it. Everybody ends up getting it within, you know, 10 to 15 minutes. They can start getting it pretty consistently. The bullseye is the ultimate goal for people. Once they get that first bullseye, everybody's running up and taking pictures of it.
Hi, Steven. This looks really cool, but I gotta be honest with you. I had a bit of an accident at the Ren Fair last year.
Come on!
What? What? I don't see it. Where did it go? Where did it go? V, where is it?
It went in.
What?
I mean.
Spit it out, girl. Ask me a question. I'll help you out. Ask me anything you want.
Are you okay?
Okay, well, no worries. I got some safety tips for you, and I got some demos to teach you how to throw, so we'll get you rolling safely and the proper way.
The proper way. That's what I'm about. Let's do it.
You're gonna have your dominant hand on bottom, non-dominant hand right on top, go straight over your head, and then as you throw, take a step forward with your non-dominant foot.
Whoa! Dino!
There it is.
Cotton candy! Oh! Oh! Sookie, sookie! Look at that! Bullseye. That's hitting the mark. You know who else is hitting the mark? Debbie Powers. She is doing her part to end hunger in St. Louis.
Do you have any food in the bakery to add to everything? Every Sunday from 12:30 to 2:30, we do it.
I want to say we've got a couple carts of bakery that are going to be going home with you as well.
I do it because I know that this is what I'm supposed to do. It's in me. It breaks my heart to see anybody hungry. I've shared my food since I was 17. I will continue to do so. All right, we got turkeys today. For a very short while, I left home and I was hungry. I never forgot that feeling. I vowed that I would share my food with my friends and anybody I could for the rest of my life. But when High Point closed, I will never forget it. I saw all these people crying because they said, Debbie, we have nowhere to go for food. And that's when I made it my mission again. I'm gonna do something to be able to help these people.
She came to us, kind of explained what she had going on, and it was something we were beyond glad to do.
And this is Miss Debbie's calling. It's to unselfishly find the resources to bring to the people.
I got rear-ended as soon as I left the church. And the little girl had no money, she didn't have food, and she didn't have insurance. And I had plenty of salads and things in my car, and she had been praying to have food that night.
It's definitely neat to see how much that she's done, and really the fact that she's able to reach upon so many individuals and really at the drop of a dime get so many people out here to help out. It's amazing what she's done.
The greatest thing you'll ever do if you come on board with me to do this, I guarantee you it will change your life forever when you hear the stories of what my food is doing.
I met Debbie at Chick-fil-A, and she was talking to me about her mission, and she needed drivers for the pickup at Fresh Time, and I gave her my phone number, and she gave me her phone number, and me and my mom did the pickup for Mother's Day.
God puts people together to do things, is the way I believe, you know, and God put us all together for one common cause.
We help people out and we build relationships.
That's exactly what it's all about.
That's it.
And now I get to meet a lot more people in the neighborhood.
This girl here has the biggest heart that I've ever met. So when she says she needs anything, I just help her.
This is something that's been awarded to me for the rest of my life. One single person can make a difference. If you have enough and you share a little, you'll always have enough.
Let me tell you this, you're not gonna find anyone more passionate about their calling than Debbie. And her ultimate goal is to open her own food pantry. But right now, what she really needs is drivers between 12:30 and 2:30 on Sundays. That's her window to get the food from Fresh Time. Hey, if you're interested, give her a call. If you're interested in supporting her or maybe helping her get in a vehicle to help her out on this, give her a call. It's Debbie Powers, and she's doing good work.
What's up, Mr. Bullseye? Let's throw a little axes, bro.
Oh, you want to get you on a one-on-one,
Yes.
a mano-a-mano?
Five.
5 throws.
Best out of 5.
All right. Skittles!
You need to take more than a deep breath.
Oh!
If I lose to you, man.
Just follow through.
Woo! So right now we're open 4.
You holding back?
No holding back.
Woo! 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 Woo!
Yeah. Go down there if I can throw. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh! That was fun, man. Wasn't it fun?
You did good.
It's fun. It's really even more fun when you win.
Yeah, okay.
But what about families, man? Great place for families to come?
Good place.
Yeah.
For sure. This is a good spot. If you're in St. Louis area, come down here to the axe throwing place. You'll like this.
Great for family. And speaking of family, I got to introduce you to a friend of mine named Jeff Nizick. Used to be in a band called Blinded Black. Now he's doing a new project, and it's all about family and to benefit family. What do you hear his story?
When I was 18 years old, I had signed my first record deal, toured the country multiple times. It got to a point where we had to be on tour 286 days out of the year as part of our contract. The music industry kind of chewed us up and spit us out. Not everything was something, I guess, that we should have been involved in at that young of an age, and I had to find kind of what way I wanted to go, what direction I wanted to go in life. Rowan is kind of the reason, really the reason for everything at this point. Rowan was born with cerebral palsy. Luckily, it's a mild form, but it still keeps him from functioning the way most kids do. He can't walk, so he walks assistedly with a walker. He's learning to walk with canes right now. My priorities have dramatically changed from, going to parties and doing all these things I'm not supposed to be doing to, coming home and getting him to bed, watching The Incredibles or Cars for the 15th time. Again, I wouldn't change it for the world. It's something that you don't really, that doesn't sound too exciting until you actually see his face when he's actually sitting there enjoying himself. So it makes it all worth it.
And it's still crystal clear.
He inspired me to start writing more. I've written a lot lately about him, and ultimately I wanted to put my music in a place in which I guess I can do something good for once. With what I'm doing right now, I'm making sure that I donate a large portion of the funds and the proceeds from the songs that are being sold to the Cerebral Palsy Foundation. It's all original tunes, stuff, again, all stuff that is very personal to me. And anything from songs I've written about Rowan, other to the divorce, writing for him, and being able to start up kind of this benefit for cerebral palsy was something I thought would be awesome for what I had to do. When I had Rowan, it really opened my eyes, I guess, to needing to be, a better parent, a better person, essentially. For him to see, it was almost like he saved me from a life in which could have been a lot different, and definitely not in a good way either.
So at 18, when you signed your first recording contract, dream was probably to be top selling, top of the billboards.
Right.
What's your goal in music now?
Right now, I think my dream would be just to be a better role model for my son.
And I never believed in hell.
Woohoo! This is getting fun. Hey, if you want to hear Jeff's latest project, it's called Blind Robots. The single Unbreakable is available on iTunes now, with To the Moon coming out shortly, and the album not long after that. Go check it out and follow him on Facebook. Got to get some more axe throwing.
The Thread, brought to you by Bomarito Automotive Group.
This is Frank Bomarito.
You'll get a bigger selection and better value when you visit any Bomarito location. State-of-the-art showrooms and the most advanced service centers. Bomarito has over 8,000 new and 2,000 pre-owned vehicles, all with Missouri's best pricing, greatest financing, and lease options for everyone. Nobody has more. Nobody sells more. Your next car is at Bomarito or Bomarito.com. We're in every neighborhood.
We went to 2 other places beforehand. I really want to go to Newsteaders. I've always heard great things about them.
And he chose a lab-grown diamond, a pure-grown diamond.
I blacked out. And still,
You don't even know if you...
I don't, but...
She don't even know if she's been asked to get married yet.
No, I do, because
Okay.
I
You have
made him
video.
do it again. It's one of those things where when you get a great diamond, you can tell. And I know that I have one.
If you're in the market for jewelry, make your way to Newsteaders, where honesty and integrity meet. Hey Threadheads, who's ready to do some shopping? Yeah? You want to get in on the hottest styles of the season? Don't be jelly. This look could be yours too. It's as easy as heading over to thethreadstl.com. The Thread store is open 24/7, so you can thread up your wardrobe with some stylish shirts and lids. You're gonna look good in that. Go to thethreadstl.com, click on the shop page and get your threads, because it's time to thread up, y'all. I think this is Virginia's shirt. Don't worry, we've got other sizes. Virginia! Hold on, hey, are my tennis shoes deductible?
Tim, what are you doing?
I gotta get my taxes done, my investments, and I gotta make a will.
Come on, I know just the place. Come on. You are going to love Securus' Circle of Advisors. They can help you with your tax advice, your legal needs, your investments, and your insurance.
Awesome.
Tim, meet your Circle of Advisors.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Well, we did tell you to bring everything.
Securus Circle of Advisors, helping people build and secure their vision of retirement.
This week's Thread Up story is brought to you by Securus Circle of Advisors.
Woohoo! Ooh.
All right, how we getting it?
I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like
right.
I'm kind of getting the hang of it. Now, you said there's some different variations of games you can play?
Yes. Count down from 35, just like it sounds. First 2 or past 0 wins. 21 or bust, up to 21. If you go over it, you go back to 11. Have at it.
All right.
Get competitive.
Oh, Lexi, that's pretty good. You up for a game?
Sure.
All right, let's do it. Come on. Dang Daddy! Oh!
Just watch me, Dad.
I'm watching you. Oh! Oh, the pressure is on. You like the game, though?
Yes.
You like shaking it up a little bit?
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of shaking up a little bit, Creative Concepts for Living was doing just that earlier this summer. They were all over town with their residents giving back to the community. Take a look.
We provide residential supports to people who live in the community that have developmental disabilities. So we have homes all over St. Louis and St. Charles County.
So this is our first annual community day. We want to give back to the community because a lot of times when people say give back to the community, they wait for the community to come to them.
So every home focused on their community where they live and gave back whatever they wanted to do, whether it was planting flowers. We had people cleaning up parks, taking bird feeders to parks.
A lot of people just think that, people with disabilities just sit in their home and receive services 24 hours a day. That's not what we want to do. We want them to get out. We want them to be able to enjoy the community just like everybody else does.
They want to be part of the community just like you or I do, so they want to help.
Adrian, tell me, what did you do today?
I went to Reagan Jordan.
And what'd you do there?
I cleaned up, wipe down table, wipe down chair, talk to the ladies.
You talk to the ladies? You like that?
Just because they have a disability doesn't mean that they can't do anything. And we work for them to do as much as they can.
Why is this a passion for you, personally?
I just love seeing people living the life that they want to live.
I mean, I love people, and I do a lot of things for blessings, not to get something back in return. It is always good to bless somebody and to help someone.
To see people move from a institutional setting into the community and to really thrive and just living life.
Why was it so important for you to be a part of today? Why did you want to do it?
To help out the community.
And that's important to you. What is the biggest thing you've learned from them?
To love and to help and always give back. Just because they have a disability doesn't mean that they can't do anything. Strive and let them do as much as they can and support them as we go.
That's a 4. Game over.
No.
Lots of fun. Gay, the game's not over for Creative Concepts for Living. They want to keep this giving back going. And look at this. They've got people there that are learning to swim for the first time. They're studying for their high school graduation or GED. And their reception workers are all people they have served. Awesome, awesome organization. They're doing amazing things in our community. Hey, this is one game we got going on here, a little axe throwing, but I've got a chair and some questions. Who's ready for the hot seat? Brought to you by Art Van Furniture. We played his game, now he's playing ours. Steven's in the hot seat, the axe master. All right, Steven, you ready for this?
Yes, sir.
All right, here's how it works. 30 seconds on the clock. You'll have 5 questions. The theme is axe. Okay, so this is right up your alley. You ready?
All right, I'm ready.
Clock will start after I read the first question. Number 1. The sport of axe throwing involves the throwing of what?
An axe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
In the world of rock and roll, an axe is another word for what instrument?
The axe, I gotta play my axe.
Yes, guitar, absolutely, a little help. The lead singer of the band Guns N' Roses' name is? Guns N' Roses? Anyone know? Did I just date myself? Yeah. Axl Rose, Axl Rose. You see what I know? Okay, I'll help you on that one. Yeah. All right, next one. George Washington may have used one of these to cut down the cherry tree.
An axe.
Axe, yes! Actually, they say that never really happened, that he never really cut down the tree, but he did have wooden teeth and those may have been carved with an axe. Too much information? I'll continue. Last one. What is the best way to get a question answered? You axe it! You axe it! You see what I did? You axe it, Steven.
Yeah,
there you go.
I should have known that one.
Steven just conquered the hot seat, brought to you by Art Van Furniture.
Saturday, the famous Art Van Furniture 10 sale continues, St. Louis. Everything restocked, reloaded, and marked down to the lowest price. Save up to 65% off and even up to 75% off outdoor furniture. We tag this, we tag that, we even tag this and that. And save on huge doorbusters while they last. Shop the tent, shop the store, and get an extra 20% off or no interest till 2020. The Art Van Furniture 10 sale continues Saturday 9 to 9.
See it all at artvan.com/St. Louis.
Hey gang, question for you. Do you know what causes flooding? Did you say water? Okay, smarty pants. Well, did you know that you live in a flood zone? Say what? Uh-huh. Shut your mouth. Just talking about flood zones. Oh yeah, I didn't say a floodplain. A floodplain is like a flood zone, only without the lettuce, tomato, and ketchup. It's just the meat and the bun. No, seriously, a floodplain is the low-lying area adjacent to rivers, creeks, and streams that are prone to flooding. But then again, you knew that. But here's something you may not know. Everyone lives in a flood zone. Wow. Oh yeah, and what the Metropolitan St. Louis Sewer District wants you to know is whether you live in a low, moderate, or high-risk flood zone. Because believe me, those floodwaters get in your house, Mayflowers will be the least of your worries. Cheeky monkey. The best way to protect your home and family? Buy a boat! No, seriously, the best way to protect your home and family? Buy flood insurance. So, MSD wants to know, do you know your zone? For more information, go to knowyourzone.org.
Hey.
What? Our time's almost up together already? You mean I gotta wait till next Saturday? That's way too long. We gotta catch up during the week. I got a great idea. Hey, why don't you follow us on social media? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You know, we've got content that doesn't actually fit on our 30-minute show, right? And we're adding new messages all the time, so follow us, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's our way to keep up with you throughout the week, and we can thread up all week long. Follow us, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. See you soon. Woohoo!
All right, Tim.
Yeah.
It looks like you're getting the hang of that pretty good.
Thank you, yes.
So we got some stuff to mix it up. We've got throwing stars and throwing cards. So with these bad boys, you're gonna be ninjas. You ready to get on the try?
I am.
All right, how about 'em? Let that inner ninja out.
These hands are doing some work. But nothing like the work of Kelly and her crew at Hands to Help. They are truly demonstrating the healing power of touch. Take a look.
Hands to Help is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We offer free massage therapy to terminal, elderly, and disabled patients. Also patients who are currently going through cancer treatments, regardless if it's a terminal prognosis or not. After doing a lot of different jobs that just were not me, I finally went to massage school in the early 2000s. Immediately, I knew massage was what I was put here to do. We have done over 6,000 patient visits in the last 10 years.
The massages enabled me to maneuver and function on a daily basis.
It makes me feel good to make other people feel good.
Kelly came in and was able to help me to have a quality of life.
I do it because I enjoy it. I feel like if I can make somebody feel good for however long, a day, 2 hours, I feel I've done my job.
She hits those spots right there. Oh, makes it feel relaxed and comfortable. You just go, wow. Keep it up, hon. Keep it up.
Total relaxation. I'm usually kind of keyed up anyway and nervous, and after she's finished with me, I'm totally relaxed for a long time.
What I really found is I just go in and love people. And that's the part I love, is those connections we make. My private practice is kind of what helps feed my family, and this nonprofit is what feeds my soul.
And I'm a guitar player, and I was in a jam session every Sunday, and I had to quit that for a while. I can play my music, and I'm back to doing that. We were friends before, but now she's a very close part of my life.
I work with a lot of Alzheimer's patients too, and when they even get to advanced stages, they might have forgotten everything else, but touch is something that's remembered at a core level. The touch is just, it's primal. It's what people remember when they don't remember anything else.
My hospice patients and that, I know what the end results, I know what's coming to them and the peace that they're getting from it, and knowing when they cross over, they're gonna be in a better place.
I mean, a lot of this isn't just the touch and the massage, it's the companionship and helping with the loneliness. And there's a whole group of forgotten people out there, and most of them are elderly and they don't have a whole lot of family, or they have family that doesn't care, or at least doesn't care enough. And we make a big difference in some of these people's lives.
It gave you life back.
Yeah, it gave me a life I didn't have before.
If somebody dropped $1 million on me tomorrow, I would quit my jobs, I would just do free massages all day, and that would be it. That would be my life. It'd be a perfect life.
I so love this ministry. They are blessing so many folks, and they could really use your support. And did you catch that part about relationship? See, it's not just about the physical touch, but the personal touch, the being with, the conversation, the community, the investment, like Creative Concepts for Living. Did you catch the appearance of Shanna? We introduced you to her earlier this year when we were focusing on the care her son LaShawn was receiving from Rankin Jordan, and how Dream Play Recreation gave him a basketball hoop for his rehab and recreation. Well, she cares for her family at home, but in her words, she just loves to love. And the work she and her co-workers are doing at CCL for those residents is enabling them to live the lives they want to live, accomplishing things that many thought were impossible. And how about Jeff Nizick? I mean, music has taken on a whole new meaning for him now that he's a father. I mean, it's enabled him to do so much more with it, like helping others with cerebral palsy, therapy for himself, and even a bonding activity for he and his son, Rowan. And what about Debbie? Debbie's passion for feeding the hungry is infectious. And she's doing more than just feeding folks. She's building relationships with those who are providing the food, those who are delivering the food, those who are handing out the food, and those who are receiving it. You see, when we step into what God's calling us to do, little things become big things. It reminds me of a meal that Jesus served for more than 5,000 folks. It's the only miracle of Jesus's that's recorded in all 4 Gospels. You see, these folks have been listening to Jesus speak all day, and they were hungry, but there was no food, except for a young boy who had a couple of fish and 5 loaves of bread. Jesus took it, broke it, and said, "This'll do." And he fed everybody there and had 12 baskets of leftovers when they were done. Now, this points to several things. One, like all of Jesus's miracles, it points to who he is, the Son of God, and what he was ultimately going to do in his death and resurrection. Provide for the deepest hunger of the world, grace, forgiveness, and a love beyond our wildest dreams. But it also shows us that when we take all that we have and all who we are and put it in God's hands, he can do amazing things. Moving to the need of another, fellowship. In Matthew 10:42, Jesus says, if you'll give just one of the least of these a cup of cold water, you're not going to lose your reward. See, it's what we're called to do, to move to others. Recreation, throwing axes, that's ministry? Yeah, it can be. When we're gathering, and think about the word recreation. I mean, one dictionary defines it as the refreshing of strength and spirit after work. Recreation, play, it's a recreation of what we were created to be at creation, at play, enjoying God's great creation, the pinnacle of which is one another. So, go have some fun today. Play with your folks, make a new friend, and love the next person who crosses your path. It's what we're called to do and who we're called to be. Well, that brings us to the end, but not the end. You know what I'm talking about.
Are you holding back on power?
Man, don't help him now, man. He's
Wait, I was holding back on power.
A little bit. So if you can let it rip as long as you follow through. All right.
So here's the problem.
I'm gonna follow through.
I let it rip, and he thought I was holding back.
Spot Media Production Group.